summer 2022, and according to the best data we have, over 2,200 public bodies around the world have declared a climate emergency. 337 of those are local authorities in England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. Local authorities are the main form of regional government in the UK. There are about 400 of them, and we Brits tend to refer to them as councils. Here in the UK, around 30% of carbon emissions come from sources within the influence of local authorities, such as from council offices and vehicles, from the supply chain of council services like waste collection, from council-operated buildings like libraries and swimming pools, or from aspects of the surrounding area that the council influences through strategies, funding and regulation, like transport infrastructure, schools and housing. Different councils have different powers. One way the councils describe how they'll use their powers to reach their net zero goals is through a climate action plan. In 2021, mySociety partnered with Climate Emergency UK to start tracking these climate action plans, along with lots of other information about councils' climate responses. We put all of this information on a site called CAPE, the Climate Action Plan Explorer. I'm Zarino and I lead mySociety's climate programme. CAPE is still under active development and its remit is growing beyond just climate action plans. But I want to give you a quick rundown of how the site works right now and how the data is managed and gathered, so that you might be able to take some inspiration and start something similar in your own country. First and foremost, CAPE is a database of climate action plans. With the help of mySociety friends and supporters, and Climate Emergency UK's volunteers, we crowdsourced the UK's first and only open database of council climate plans and strategies. No matter what format they're in, you can search across them for keywords you're interested in, like parks, Green Homes Grant, or circular economy. Council officers find this useful when searching for inspiration on what to include in their own plans. And it's also useful for local campaign groups who want to see what best practice looks like while pushing their council to do better. But CAPE contains much more data than just plans. You can filter and search our list of UK councils by lots of different data points, including whether a council's declared a climate emergency or whether it's published a plan, as well as physical factors like country, region and population. Most people, however, will find their council by postal code. We show a growing selection of information about each council, including any climate emergency declarations and pledges they've made, like when they'll aim for their area to be net zero by, as well as an idea of how good the council's climate plans are, thanks to Climate Emergency UK's massive Council Climate Plan Scorecards project, which assessed every plan in the UK at the end of 2021. We also pull in the latest emissions estimates from the UK government department responsible for energy to help you visualise what sorts of emission sources this council will likely be concentrating on. For Scottish councils, we're able to display a summary of the emissions reductions projects they've undertaken, which is data we automatically extract from spreadsheets collected by the Scottish Government. Sadly, there's no requirement for councils from other parts of the UK to provide climate action data like this. We hope one day that might change. Finally, our researcher Alex has worked on generating a similarity index to help you find other similar councils to compare this one against. The index is based on openly available data about the council, including their population, GDP, emission sources, deprivation or poverty, and the proportion of people living in urban, rural and highly rural neighbourhoods. All of the source code for this index of UK council similarity is available on GitHub. We'd love to see how the model might apply to other countries. Let us know if you try it out. Speaking of source code, CAPE is, of course, open source, and you're welcome to fork it and deploy it in your own country. But the hard part will be gathering the data to fill it up. In the UK, CAPE pulls from a number of datasets, including hand-updated Google spreadsheets containing information about council action plans, emergency declarations and net zero pledges, as well as official datasets like the historical emissions statistics from BEIS and the annual emission reduction reports from Scottish authorities. It also pulls data from its sister project, the 2021 Council Climate Plan Scorecards. When we started this project, we had a theory that it might be helpful to provide a dataset like this, and we had some ideas as to who might use it. Council officers, local action groups, researchers, journalists. A year on, we're happy to see our theory was correct. Council officers have told us how useful CAPE is for understanding what other councils are doing. And we've collected and published case studies on how CAPE has been used by specific groups and campaigns around issues as broad as healthcare, school meal plans, green investments and sustainable farming. I hope you've enjoyed our quick tour of CAPE. If you'd like to find out more about mySociety's climate programme, visit us at mysociety.org/climate.